the Legal Growth Podcast, where we dive into strategies, challenges, and success stories shaping the future of law firms. I'm your host, Aaron Fulk, and together with Legal Growth Partners, we'll bring you in-depth conversations with top legal professionals, industry innovators, and firm leaders. Our goal is simple, just to share practical insights, innovative strategies, and real-world advice to help your law firm scale, adapt, and thrive. Whether you're navigating growth challenges or looking to boost your business development, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. This week, our guest is Jeonghoon. How are you?
Hey, Aaron, how are you?
I am good. Did I hear you briefly say you have your own podcast as well?
Yes, I do.
Nice. We're going to have to plug that on here because I love that. A lot of times this is people's first podcast, so that's perfect.
Yeah. But really, I'm excited to be here, and thanks for the opportunity to be on your podcast.
Oh, absolutely. Tell everyone where you are located, and then we will dive in.
I'm in New York. I'm in sort of northern part of northern from the New York City. Sorry. So I'm in the Westchester area.
Nice. Can you give us a quick overview of how you got into law and why you chose the specialty of law that you practice?
Sure. So before law, I actually spent more than 10 years in the policy world, specifically foreign policy world. And as a South Korean, one of the important, policy agendas for us is Korean reunification. We don't know when that is going to happen, but as I was thinking about, really wanting to pursue law, I really wanted to contribute to this future process of Korean unification. So that would include, potentially post-constitutional or post-unification constitutional reforms and other, legal frameworks that's needed to place in the unified Korea. Now, so that's the main reason why I started studying law. And since then, I've been a finance lawyer, and now I'm a Web3 lawyer, starting my own practice. Now, that might sound like it's not completely related, but I really believe that blockchain technology has potential to become sort of the infrastructure changer that will significantly change the way we do, finance and cross-border coordination. So, it's been really, really rewarding to, build my practice in this industry, helping clients that are really working on important projects. And sort of that's why I started to pursue law, and that's where I am right now.
Did you pursue law when you were in Korea?
No, I've been in the United States for a long time. I worked briefly in South Korea when I was in the policy world, but I've been mostly educated in the United States.
Awesome. We've had a couple people on here that have done in a couple different countries, and it's always fascinating the differences. So, because
Yeah.
it's almost like you have to learn a whole new stuff.
Yeah.
Well, the Web3 space is insane. So I am definitely excited to hear a little bit more about that. Every attorney seems to have kind of a memorable first case. Can you share kind of either whether it's funny or surprising, but something that you really remember from like when you first got out there starting practicing law?
Sure. It's actually not related to Web3 or finance. One of the first cases that I worked on was a pro bono immigration case where team of us at my previous law firm called Bracewell LLP, we helped pro bono client who was applying for a green card in the United States as a special juvenile immigrant. What that means is this client had certain difficulties during the childhood, and this is a sort of special way that the United States allows certain individuals to have new opportunities in the United States because they have gone through such hardship when they were young. So this was a case with a client that I was helping with, and we had team of us, as I mentioned, working on it. But it went for a long time because immigration cases can be very lengthy, and I was the one who physically handed the green card to this client, and there was a moment where both of us got really emotional because I'm also from South Korea, and I have a green card right now, and so I know how meaningful it is to have such great opportunity in this country, and this certainly was the case for this client, and we still keep in touch. And this client actually referred the client to me when I started my own practice. So it is an ongoing relationship, and it's a very meaningful one for me.
I love that. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people know how hard it is to go through that process. It's a lot harder than they make it look on TV, right? So
Yeah.
that is memorable, and I love that you still have a relationship. That's cool.
Mhm.
What do you think has been your biggest growth success story so far in your career?
So it's still ongoing, obviously. I'm still building my practice, but I started my own practice in 2024 to focus on the Web3 industry, as I mentioned in previous answer. And I think one thing that really worked for me was to focus on a special niche and just a specialization. I focus on the blockchain technology from the beginning, and sort of developing regulations and laws in this industry. So that includes the Genius Act related to payment stablecoin, UCC Article 12, because I'm a also finance lawyer. UCC article is very important. New legal framework, and also market structure bill, which is better known as the Clarity Act, and that is a law that we're all sort of waiting to pass in this industry. And in addition, there are important sort of updates coming from regulators like SEC, CFTC, and the OCC related to digital assets. So I keep very close eye on all these, and I take further step to educate the public and also lawyers. So I speak at Web3 conferences, university lectures, and also teach continuing legal education known as CLE courses. When these important new law comes out, I first educate myself and prepare, and then I teach these classes. And all of these process become sort of, it's a good, I am here to sort of move the Web3 industry in a positive direction by filling this educational gap. Because when new technology comes, all of us need to learn about it, right? And when new law comes, we all need to learn about it. It's been really great process for me to educate myself, and then the broader public and lawyer community, legal community, and then all of that experience, becomes a work that I do for my client, because I am prepared to represent my client after all that process. So through all that sort of specialization and working to educate myself and the public, it's really built that credibility that was necessary for further client engagement and referrals and strategic relationships. So I guess if I could offer anything, any key takeaway from this for other law firms, I think specialization matters more than ever, especially now that AI is making general information so easy to access. I think clients are really looking for deep expertise and industry knowledge and strategic sort of counseling. So I think building authority through writing, speaking are all really, really important part of this process.
There's a saying in marketing, the riches are in the niches. And I agree with you that it's more important than ever. I do have a question on this because I'm in
Yeah.
digital marketing and I've been in digital marketing forever. And it's like the past 5 years, you can't even, every day I have to re-educate myself.
Yeah.
Do you ever get frustrated that no matter what you do in the law, sometimes it just is not keeping up with the changes that are happening every day with Web3 and stuff?
I'll be lying if I said no to that, because there's so many things coming out. And like, for example, last year I started hearing about AI agent, and then early this year OpenClaw came out, and then we were doing like vibe coding, and then we were making it become more like easy to make AI agents. Just last year we were thinking like some people trying to specialize in this, and now it's sort of like boom, boom, boom. And the pace at which this industry, I mean the Web3 and also with combination with AI industry, the pace with which this is growing is just unbelievable. So sometimes I feel like I'm always behind, but it's just I'm still sort of keeping myself in the front. I know this. I try not to get so frustrated, but just keeping that mindset where I'm constantly learning. I won't be able to understand everything, but I'm just happy and very fortunate to be working with clients and partners who are at the front of these technologies, and we are trying to sort of take this technology and bring positive impact to the world. So there are moments when things get a little bit frustrated, but focus on more important things.
Right. No, there's some, I don't know who the company is. I don't know if it's good or anything. So I'm not like suggesting anybody do this, but we've had quite a few of our attorneys, clients go to some new thing that they're having weekly conferences teaching you how to put cloud agents into your firm for bodies. And I'm like,
Yeah,
so fast. Half of these people had never heard of cloud last year.
yeah, I know, I
Moving
know.
very
It's
fast. You are needed more than ever. So,
trying to be.
what would you say your favorite non-legal skill is that surprisingly has been very helpful since starting your firm?
That's really interesting. Probably, my ability to communicate with policymakers. I mean, I already mentioned that I worked more than 10 years in the policy work before law. And I didn't expect this to be the case, but as I start to focus on Web3, and because this industry is such a fast developing, not just on the technology side, but also the legal side, it's been really helpful to, interact and communicate with government officials. For example, SEC, CFTC, OCC, like there are tons of new statements, guidance, interpretations coming out, and they're trying to provide more clarity to the Web3 industry in terms of the legal compliance. And it's all helpful, but still we could be more clear. And the way I do it is I attend conferences and events where these government officials are going to speak at, and I go there and I directly interact with them, and by asking questions, I try to gain more insight into what sort of their internal discussions look like, and how they are sort of assessing these new industry and new types of digital assets. So, and all of that sort of relationships and communications that I do with government officials have been directly helping clients, and my clients have been very satisfied with that process. So I didn't expect this to be the case, but because I speak the language in DC and also other policy circles in different areas of the world, it's been very, very helpful for my practice.
Listen, it's a whole skill set. I'm old enough to remember when Mark Zuckerberg sat within the Senate and they just asked him questions and nobody knew what he was talking about. So I feel like it's a skill set to be able to talk to both of them. So that's an amazing skill set. Yeah.
Yes, totally agree.
Okay, so looking ahead, what trends or changes do you see shaping the future of law firms, and how are you specifically positioning your firm to always stay competitive?
Sure. We already talked about AI and automation, and there's no secret that this is already changing the legal industry substantially. Now, I don't think AI and automation, all this process will um, replace us immediately, because there's still important work that lawyers do when it comes to providing clients with legal judgment, strategic counseling, and also some important compliance that requires human elements. I just mentioned that I interact closely with officials to gain more clarity for my clients, and these are not easily replaceable by AIs, at least at this point. But I think what will change, and what we're already seeing, is more automation in drafting, document review, and compliance monitoring. And because these tools are available, I think clients are expecting faster turnaround, more transparent pricing, and better pricing. So what I am doing with my firm, because it is a solo practice, and what I'm doing is I'm actively integrating AIs, especially when it comes to administrative stuff, and also I'm trying to do more automation when it comes to content creation that I do on different social media. So that's where I actively engage it. And when it comes to legal work, I approach it with more caution, because we all know stories where wrong cases were cited by even big law firm, because they use AI and they didn't confirm that sources. So what I do is I use AI tools where data set is limited to cases, precedents, and secondary sources that lawyers often cite to. And this is important because other AI platforms that might not use it, they might pull some information from different web contents, and that might not be correct one, and they might even go take a step to create some cases that's not existent. But when you use AI tools, and I'm using a platform called LexisNexis, and this is a platform that's been gathering a lot of cases, and so lawyers been using this before AI came, but now with all these AI tools, they added AI onto their system, but they're limiting their LLM to the data set that they have, which are all the resources that lawyers are comfortable with. And so I work with it, and then I do double check, triple check to make sure those cases are real ones. And that's sort of how I incorporate AI tools to for my legal work product. So I think down the road we will need to incorporate this. I think big law firms will do it. Very important for small law firms like mine. But I think the way you do need to do it with caution to make sure your clients are not getting wrong information. If you do that right, I think it will become a huge advantage, and Halo is certainly doing that right now.
I don't think people talk about enough about how wrong it is. Sometimes in Kansas City, you deal with two states, and
Yeah.
it is often very wrong depending on the state because Kansas
Yeah.
is not an actual place, right? Like it's two states when it comes to the law. So
Mhm.
I've seen a lot of that. Well, that's a fascinating take. I want to thank you so much for coming on here. Thank you for joining us on the Legal Growth Podcast presented by Legal Growth Partners. If you enjoyed today's episode, subscribe, drop us a review, share it with your colleagues because great insights are even better when shared. For more tips and tools to help grow your practice, visit legalgrowthpartners.com. Until next time, keep innovating, keep growing, and keep smiling. Thank you so much, Jeonghoon, for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.